Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. All right, it is currently 8:17 a.m. and I just captured video showing you what is the state's placement of its fake sun, and this is big picture analysis, right? The state has its fake sun, its light source over my head, that same central location, indicating stalking with light, that which is not the sun, and it is also over my head in the city of Fontana while I'm at the facilitating venue of the Fontana Police Department. The city of Fontana is also east of the city of Ontario, and I am at the Stater Brothers located inside of Ontario Village, where demons are monitoring and stalking with the state, 8SFM 157. Also, what is the big picture analysis? The state keeps its fake sun, as I just showed you the other day as well, over the B&G Plaza at 7:30 in the morning. And I also showed you video before I arrived at the B&G Plaza, the state moving its fake sun east down Holt Boulevard before I am showing you this video at 8:15. 8PAZ001 4RPG 894, which would mean the state's fake sun is captured at two places at the same time. That's what that means. While I am showing you what is the maintenance of presence, hold on, this is P.O.C. right here, license plate 129980, which is Illinois. While I'm showing you what is the maintenance of presence of the state's light source over the B&G Plaza, like I was pointing out. All right, let me show you video right now. All right, I had to show you real quick what is stalking by the state using third-party commercial airline planes. And you see the fake sun, which is directly over the parking lot. While I'm standing in the parking lot of Ontario Village, I am facing what is south, and I'm showing you what is the state's fake sun. At the B&G Plaza, which is east down the street of Holt, I am facing south. I showed you at B&G Plaza when I am facing what is west and showing you the absence of any sun in this direction. It is remaining behind me, which as I face south and I'm capturing the fake sun over the B&G Plaza, and I'm speaking specifically to the vivid example of stalking with light where the state had its fake sun over that B&G Plaza from 7:30 in the morning until after 10 o'clock in the morning. I am here at 8:15 a.m. and showing you on video while this old geezer who is demon possessed and is stalking with the state, 6MBE418, directed light on the ground while that old white man, whose name I do not have to know, while he's under the fake sun and in directed light, indicating what is state presence and state stalking, 88431J2. All right, and what is also indicating demon possession, 88LP420, 6ABU161. UPS is the same stalking activity. You have what is the state's fake sun over this parking lot, and you have what is hovering in a commercial airline plane over this parking lot, which is also speaking to what is the maintenance of presence by the state vicariously through such third parties. And I've also shown you on video UPS using its vehicles to terrorize and stalk, as I've shown you directed light attacking me literally under the fake sun that's over the Ontario Town Square townhomes. 7369883. This is already documented conduct. 4U98389. That's audible activity in directed light. It is 8:21 a.m. I did show you what is video, the demons of Stater Brothers coming outside of the venue to focus on the opposite side of the parking lot, while the fake sun and directed light is present. 7WYP943, including Oscar Macias, the same demons with directed light inside of that store, 6LIMT185, and there is no form, while those demons keep their back to me and demonstrating their focus on me in relevant position, audible activity, and directed light under the fake sun. Okay, that's P.O.C. And that's exactly what Satan does. He's a psychopath that is stalking through the people, stalking through a government, and that has no form anymore. 6VFV663, and this is the third plane. On that video, which I just captured right now at 8:21, it's 8:23, and there's another plane. That's the state patrolling repeatedly, and that's second by second with planes, okay? 7S29322. And by the way, as I tell you on my podcast, the state was flying over right now on that plane and not making any noise. That's the playing of a tape of noise, okay? 2745972, manufacturing audible activity, just making up, playing a tape, all right, which is audible activity and engineered light. 7JBY518, 7TZT361. And you remember, while the state's fake sun is here, like I said, remember it's remaining stationary over the B&G Plaza. Remind yourself of that documentation that I just published the other day. All right, so this is supposed to be the sun at two places at the same time. And also, you're talking about what is aiming light. That's supposed to be the sun that's so low that it's aiming sunlight underneath the entrance. And that's also not going to occur, even if that was the sun over the sky space of the Stater Brothers. But it's certainly not happening while it's hovering over the plaza of the B&G Plaza, where it remained until after 10 o'clock in the morning. 8VNK753, and this one is touching. 8TBX511, this one is touching. 8SFM157, stalking all of them together. License plate, this one 8TBX501 is touching with directed light while they are stalking in the path. Alrighty, and I did get an image of that sex offender getting out of that Blazer SUV to go into the venue of Miss Donuts that has directed light scrolling across the ground and above the ceiling of that Miss Donuts. 6HSY167, 6NO5750. 7KTY689. This is paper, BM07R70. This one's engaged in surveillance, stalking in the parking lot, 7PNZ151, 7YIY523, 6WWJ508, 4WOG777, 4LVC507, 6FGN360, 8PAF140. And what else am I pointing out? That was my greater point in the when you're looking at this light activity, which is directed light, and the fact that these are demons who are stalking, all right, that's why you have that specific signature of that which is impossible light activity and that which is not the sun, but reminding you about what it is also revealing about the state system and demons, okay, who are stalking, regardless of their location, because you have the maintenance of an environment speaking to the reality of their condition and the criminal activity they're engaging in and their condition that is revealed about that. And that is, again, let me reiterate, the state's fake sun, as I clearly show you at the Fontana Police Department in the city of Fontana, which is east of the city of Ontario, 8PNW326. Which is supposed to coexist with its stationary presence. And let me get 8TBX511, that sex offender whose image I got, who goes into Miss Donut. She's molesting me and targeting and stalking with a little kid in the front seat of her car. And this demon, 8PNW326, is pacing back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. In the shade, that's light activity, okay? That's a demon. 92612X2. They're all demons, but I'm pointing out their demonic activity as they engage in it. And being under a fake sun and stalking somebody as a group, that's indicative of a demon possession, okay? Touching is 56108R2. And I took an image of that sex offender with 56108R2. It looks like an old Latino male touching with impossible light activity that's reaching in front of his vehicle. The fake sun is behind his vehicle over me, all right, touching with directed light. 7BTR673, which I believe I read already. Let's see. License 8ZAY868 26322D3. SXH842 6CKA940 246A22. That's Nevada. License 8TTX753 8RKV684 8DO5003 4FDG236, 8SHX366, QQFD436. This looks like a foreign license plate, and so let me give you it. I've captured this like a long time ago, 2018, when I started documenting these demons specifically by license plate, and that was on the freeway in Los Angeles. And that's documented in what I have referred to as the log of events. That was my first written documentation, which I published in writing. And this is when I started concentrating on the people of the state who are following me, absolute strangers, and that's exactly what they're doing today. It's 8:28 a.m. Let me show you a picture of this license plate. All right, that looks like a European one. QQFD436, the license plate on that black BMW. 6CKA940, 8AKJ259. 14129U1, 8NVU561, 8EIZ636, 8CHN384, 7WRN803, 5GCK951, 8VKS225, CVM1461, 7PLN467, and it's 8:29 a.m. So I just want to be clear. I've captured about 3 videos, and I'm showing you what is a fake sun. And I've already established this, but I'm making a point because I'm prosecuting what are the demon-possessed stalkers of the Fontana Police Department, who are already documented. I've documented them under the fake sun, and you're looking at what is rich documentation of what is the state stalking with directed light, while they are stalking in the path with the rest of the demons of the people of the state of California. They're already prosecuted, but I'm making a point because there's no mistake about what I'm revealing about their condition and the fact that they do not belong in those positions. 80243S1 is stalking in the parking lot, going out of their way to touch. Not only is the magnified size of the shadows of their vehicle a form of touching, all right, that's engineered light. Also, the concentrated color directed light is another method of touching, and they're all touching together, and that's going to be the prosecution of the government and the people, while the state of California is stalking with a fake sun, okay? That's the value of that documentation as well. 7LCK299. So you have what is the Fontana Police Department. Remember this is what I'm saying. There's more than one aspect of my documentation, which on YouTube I point out just to remind you what you're looking at and understanding what stalking with light is. You have and I'm speaking to those who are genuinely ignorant about what the government is engaging in and what the people of the state are engaging in with the government. I'm not referring to minions, the demon-possessed, those who are indeed stalkers, state and third parties, who are paying attention to my channels and my Facebook and my website, and looking and witnessing their prosecution and the revealing of what is their condition. I'm not talking about minions that know and are literally waiting around for me to reveal what the government is engaging in, because that's what's happening. That's what's already happened, by the way. They're waiting. They're just sitting back and watching. That's what they're doing on the internet. I'm not talking to those minions. I'm talking to those who are genuinely ignorant about what the government is doing. And by the way, if you are actually not a minion, meaning if you are not demon possessed and you are genuinely ignorant like I was, you are probably being targeted by the government. To be honest with you, this is about that which is of satanic condition. This is of Satan. All right, Satan is focusing on those who are not, in other words, its children, right? I don't belong to Satan. I'm not demon possessed. I will not serve Satan. I do not serve Satan. And as far as I knew, everyone else around me was normal, whether they were Christian or not. But this is demon possession. This is very deep with regard to what I'm revealing. It's deep demon possession, and make no mistake about that. I already read these demons' license plate while the state is hovering an aircraft under the fake sun. That's the demon possessed company of FedEx hovering over my head. While this demon of 77918H2, understand the cult concerted activity. I show you that on a constant basis. They're stalking together. All right. You have what is the demon possession, and let me be clear: the government is demon possessed. These are demon possessed actors in the position of the government, demon possessed actors in the position of law enforcement, demon possessed actors that are the people of the state. And the people of the state are everywhere. They're working at your grocery store. They're working at the Starbucks. They're working at the liquor store, like I've shown you. They're working at they're living all around you. They are surrounded. The people of the state is everywhere, okay? And that's a vicarious aspect of this entity. And I want to be clear. If you are actually not demon-possessed and you are genuinely ignorant, I'm not talking to minions. I'm talking to those who are actually ignorant and have found my documentation published online. You are probably being targeted by the government, and it's more likely than not, okay? Because this is about that which is of Satan. Satan is targeting those who do not serve him, in other words, who are in actuality free of that demon possession, of being of that condition, which is literally a trap in eternity. These are those who are trapped in hell, all right? They're literally creatures of darkness, the living dead, all right? And in the flesh, living like they're normal, and they're not, all right? They're just waiting to die, and they're going to burn in the pit of hell. This is the reality of their condition, and this is why they are obsessively focused on one who is not of demon possession. This is indicative of what is being the living dead, all right? They are focused on one person, and that is me, all right? And those who are not of demon possession, and you can't fake it, the P.O.C. is the P.O.C. And so I'm not here to try to speak to what is. Pay attention to how many planes the state is flying over right here. That's a fake sun. That's how you know what 7JGS071 is doing. This is where the state is also. This is prosecution of third parties in the commercial airline planes, like I've already shown. But this is ongoing documentation of that. You have what is concentrating and second by second planes hovering, not taking off from the airport, hovering over this location right over me, where I am in the parking lot, by the way, under what is not the sun. Okay, while they're also listening to me recite the fact that I'm going to prosecute this podcast, the entirety of what I'm saying, and also the audible activity you're listening to, you have a series of planes, one after another, providing what is audible activity and speaking to what is the ongoing patrol and conduct. That's a hyper level of plane activity that are all hovering at the same address at 646 West Holt. Under what is not the sun. All right, that's what these third parties of in the state of California, that's what Southwest, FedEx, UPS, Amazon Prime, all of those planes are engaging in. And those are companies. Those are third-party companies providing instrumentalities of federal stalking. They are terrorists, and they are demon-possessed companies. That's what that's revealing about them. So like I was stating, because it's not a distraction, I'm letting you know the substance of what the entity is providing. And this demon, 7JGS071, just sitting in his car monitoring to that audible activity under the fake sun. Demon, okay? So like I said, you have what is the revealing of what are demon-possessed actors everywhere, where you live, where you go, because the people of any state are who surround you, okay? This is the breakdown of society in the United States, all right? And it's focused on those who are not of demon possession. It's not focused on targeting an American citizen, all right, because that's the context we happen to be in California, in the United States, where no such things are supposed to be happening, but they are, and that's what I revealed. You have what is not only criminal monitoring by government and people, but it's satanic at its core. And I've also shown you what's revealing that the fact that it's satanic, not only the conduct of the people themselves, they're demons. The environment that the people are in, they're demons, and that's not coincidental. You have what is also the conduct of the government itself revealing demon possession. All right. And I want to make sure I remind the fact I'm not speaking to the minions that are paying attention. I'm speaking to those who are genuinely ignorant, both those in the government who may not know what the government is actually engaging in. I'm speaking to those who are, citizens, or, I mean, you don't actually have to be in the United States. This is putting up a banner letting you know what the United States is actually engaged in, and we are no better than Russia. And this is not coming out of the mouth of somebody who's some unpatriotic, anti-government. It could not have been far from that. All right. That's exactly why I got my education and studied law, studied political science, full-hearted advocate of the Constitution, etc. This is upon realizing what is the hypocrisy in the United States of America. And based on that conduct that the government is demonstrating to you right now, but you're listening on my podcast as I'm documenting the people of the state. All right. Hypocrites. Placing on their license plates the fact that they serve in the army and they're a demon-possessed stalker. All right, they're the living dead, cloaked in that position of the army, which is a dishonor to that title. You're talking about monitoring an American citizen, which is a total hypocritical position to be in. All right, while I'm documenting them monitoring, because that's exactly what they are. They're under the fake sun and directed light, and they're a demon-possessed stalker, 8TAR825. All right, there is no difference between us and Russia. What's the difference? Russia is straight up, if you will, about where they stand as far as the government. The United States is even worse. They're the most despicable type of domestic enemy. All right, because that's how you break that down constitutionally speaking. Foreign and domestic enemies. The United States, the government, in the state of California at least, this is a domestic enemy, which is supposed to be the government. All right, that you are have agreed to govern over you. Doing it in concert with those who are of demon possession, that's relevant because it's terrorism. While they're engaging in a criminal system together, all of them are inferior demons who are focused on those that are not of that condition. All right, so you're talking about literally what are an inferior people that are focused focused on those that are not of that condition, that are bound. They're all hell bound. All right. And I'm not going to go into preaching, but this is the reality of their condition. And this is why they're engaging in deeds of death, because that's what this is about. You're talking about desperate conduct, revealing what is an absolute admission as to your worthlessness in real life. 4VQY181, contrary to what they would depict themselves on any TikTok or Facebook page, okay? Especially in the state of California. You know how superficial they are, all right? And you have what is the revealing of what is the true condition and what is the focus and what that tells you about the government, what it tells you about the people. 8RKV684. And all of them are under what is a fake sun, which is impossible to coexist with the state's fake sun. As I already showed, I showed before, documenting the Fontana Police Department at its own venue. I've showed that before. While I'm in the city of Fontana, en route to the city of Fontana, it's 8:39 a.m. and I'm showing you what is the state's fake sun that's remaining in a window of a vehicle that I'm on. All right, going east, by the way. The state is keeping its fake sun stationary while these demons are patrolling 6YAA 601. You have what is the ongoing touching with these inferior beings. They want to touch, they want to follow, they want to listen. They're sex offenders, 6FPM031, and they're pathetic beings. Let me get this head. What? Go ahead. While she's holding her communication device. I'm documenting you, yeah. I'm documenting you. License 88KJ. It's nothing you have to fear, right? You're just going about your business. 88KJ259. Ain't nothing going on, right? She's loitering in relevant position. She's in operation of her communication device, and I'm being molested with directed light while she has, she's playing. Are you filming? Well, the fake sun's right over my head. Yeah, I'm documenting you. You're a psychopath. 8FAJ140, and the state is hovering over in commercial airline planes. 4SID 999. I started recording because I wanted to get her audible activity, but I love when I hear, oh my gosh, are you filming? First of all, they're monitoring and they know. Second of all, they're demons and they know, okay? And you're talking about documenting what is a psychopath. 8BJV071. That's why I started recording, because I wanted you to listen to that. And so I'm just reminding you about the environment that she's in. This is Stater Brothers providing audible activity and crossing path under directed light, and I showed you it's covering the upper portion underneath the shaded structure while the state is hovering over me, and they have shadows moving underneath the shaded structure, as I already showed you the other day, which was after 10 o'clock in the morning, and I showed you the fake sun where Tracy Banks was monitoring with these minions. Yep. And then I go to what is the Fontana Police Department, and that is what is the state's fake sun one day remaining in the city of Ontario, and the next day east of the city of Ontario, maintaining central focus over my head though, all right, and remaining in Fontana as I showed you that ongoing light activity, which was already documented, and then at 9:50 something in the morning over my head, in the city of Fontana, east of the city of Ontario, after revealing what is remaining in the city of Ontario. This is day by day. You're looking at what is impossible to be the sun. That is not the sun. All right. And that's called stalking with light, revealing what are inferior demons that surround 8XJS470, who act stupid as you document them. 8XTH564. And it's unpersuasive. All you have to do is show, for example, what is the fake sun over their head and get their documented audible activity. All right, that'll quickly have you ending up in federal prison. Any threats you want to make as your audible activity. 7FJM685, and or in a straitjacket. All right, because you're dealing with those who are already a terrorizing threat. You know their condition. I've revealed it to you. And then you're talking about hostility while someone whose life you're threatening with the government. And then you want to engage in the methods of audible activity as I have documented, just as Tracy Banks has revealed to you. Okay, that's the audible activity of a psychopath who is stalking and monitoring her own daughter. All right, and it's entirely pathetic. You're talking about a whole psychopath. That's what she's revealed about herself. All I have to do is let the mic go, and she provides that for you. 7SRD651. All right, while the state's fake sun is remaining in the window of her car while I'm inside of it, going up and down Hope Boulevard, and yet you have it at 8:42 remaining over the Stater Brothers parking lot. 6BXL589. These old crusty geezers directed light by their car. BV773, 8VQV129. So you're understanding the state system, it's just requiring presence. All right, and it's not ignorant presence. They're demons that are engaging in that system together. All right, showing you what is directed light on the ceiling, right above on the inside of the structure, on the upper portion underneath absolutely impossible light while demons are driving around. These old crusty ones, 6BXL 589, they're just one example. They're not acting by themselves. Or while they drive up, directed light is moving inside. While they open and close their door, like you heard, directed light is moving underneath the shaded structure. While the demons are pushing shopping carts, like the employees, it's intentional conduct by demons who are monitoring, and directed light and their shadow is appearing. That's projected directed light. That's not sunlight. All right. And it's also under what is clearly not the sun at 8:44 a.m. You have what is an hour from now, the state's fake sun, as I documented it, over the Fontana Police Department, over my head. All right, that's impossible to coexist, and that's not the sun, like I said. But that is revealing what is going on with the Fontana Police Department, though. You are a stalker at a state facilitating venue, all right, and you are monitoring, and that's why you have what is east of this city in Fontana, the documented presence before this time. Do you understand that that's impossible? That's impossible. And not only that, while you're talking about east and west and cities apart, you're talking about central presence over my head. What also coexists? Impossible light activity. That's P.O.C. All right. This dirt old Latino male monitoring with a communication device, crusty toes out, while he's keeping his back to me, sitting in direct light in front of the Stater Brothers. This is P.O.C. I just want to give you an example as to what is a very broad state system and how there is no exception. There is none whatsoever. And it's absolutely pathetic. 1025, 107, City of Ontario. All right, hovering serial stalking by the municipality, going to the liquor store where I go, all right, going to the side of the library where I go, stalking in the parking lot, stalking at the senior center, all right, stalking on the roads and the highways, stalking at the museum where I sleep, okay. The City of Ontario are demons. They are hovering stalkers, all right, and they represent the municipality that's monitoring an American citizen, also engaged in kidnapping with the Ontario Police Department, and they are here at 8:45 a.m. under the fake sun, engaging in stalking with the rest of the people. It's 8:45 a.m. listening to every word that I'm uttering. This is P.O.C. at Stater Brothers. Well, this is the Ontario Village Shopping Plaza. I've been walking around. I was already inside of Stater Brothers and I completed a purchase. That's when Tracy Banks was here monitoring with them. And it is currently 8:46 now, P.O.C. 6FPM031, 7ZWF 731. Another City of Ontario vehicle arrives as they listen to me recite all the ways in which they're stalkers. 6JDW421, the dumpster truck, as I showed you at Economy Inn, it's a tape of audible activity, and that's why those demons in that same vehicle were not even actually emptying the trash, while directed light filled that hotel room of Economy Inn at 2301 South Euclid Avenue, where the state kept its fake sun in direct conflict with being anywhere over the parking lot of Stater Brothers. All right, and you have what is the stalking conduct of the City of Ontario, as I've already published this. All right, and they are stalking now. And doing so while they listen to me talk on my podcast about the fact that they are serial stalkers. That's how pathetic they are. 7CSS 869. So let me remind you about the fact that I've already documented them, and they're pathetic. 4PWR 972. Not even actually emptying the trash. All right, while I'm documenting the amplified audible activity in my hotel room, and then I show you on video as they actually approach the dumpster and then empty the trash, which is also amplified audible activity. And this is where I've shown you the state engages in playing a tape of noise, because that's exactly what they do. And that's exactly what was the pattern of conduct while this entity was kidnapping as well. Playing a tape of the sound of helicopters and sirens and the demons that are the people of the state. Traffic, which is the communication of a threat by these demons who thought I was going to remain kidnapped. Okay, that's why they engage in conduct like that. It's impossible audible activity. It is indicative of what is analogous to. That's why I describe it that way. The state is just playing noise in the atmosphere. 7JGS071. That's exactly what the state does with the train method of audible activity. 6WLH318, 7LCK299, 6NID517. And understand, as I talk about City of Ontario, that's why you have the demons arrive in another City of Ontario vehicle. That's exactly, these are demons. They are inferior, and everything that I say is what is dictating what they do and where they go, where I go. All right? That's the character, and that's the relegated role, if you will, of Satan itself, honestly. He is, excuse my friend, he is the ass. He's not the head. All right, 8WHH195, 6PMZ669. And Satan is a horrible loser. And by the way, when you are stalking somebody, you're a loser, okay? You are a loser. 8:48 a.m. Alrighty, getting you video showing you what is the real-time movement, 14638E3 of the fake sun. No longer over the parking lot while I'm facing south on the street of Hope Boulevard. License 7ELJ244. And you're going to pay attention to the video that I'm showing you while I'm standing in front of Miss Donuts, and the demons that work at Stater Brothers are keeping their back to me while they are stalking and monitoring me. And there's nothing else that is catching their attention. You have what is relevant positioning while those demons place their back to me, while directed light is on the ground, while I have multiple shadows, and the fake sun is at that portion of the parking lot right over my head. All right. I showed you while I faced the Stater Brothers what is the absence of any sun over that parking lot in conflict with where it is while I'm at that location in the parking lot. That's a real-time movement of the fake sun. And I'm also showing you in that video what is the absence of any sun in the direction of the B&G Plaza, contrary to what I am showing you while I am there. And it is clearly over the B&G Plaza. Moving to, I showed you over to what is Center Ice Arena. Based on where I'm going, based on where I'm moving, and I'm showing you the rich concentrated light. I heavily documented them again just the other day in the state keeping its fake sun from 7:30 in the morning up until after 10 o'clock. And I'm showing you what is the fake sun over the Andes Burgers, directed light underneath that drive-through structure, covering all of that wall where they're ordering burgers and cooking burgers. They're demons that are stalking. All right. And that is the real-time documentation of what is also going to coexist. You're revealing what is. That's 7H59340. Okay, this old Latina female. If those are the types that you ship out of this country, also, if they're not natural born citizens, she's over here engaging in the absolute un-American and despicable demonic activity that is revealing her condition, and she's a stalker. License, 6XST343. You are also recalling what is, again, mutually exclusive. The state's fake sun, as it's covered up, it is still there over my head in the city that is east of this city of Ontario, and that's at the Fontana Police Department. All right, where they are engaging in monitoring and stalking using their vehicles as well. And the state is revealing the fact that that is nothing but a venue. And by the way, there is no exception. I have just documented and shown you that there is no exception. There is no exception. 5FKC261, there is no exception. This is demonic activity that I'm revealing. 6VYG830, holding up her communication device toward me in directed light while the state is hovering now over the parking lot as opposed to flying over the opposite side of the street while the state's fake sun is on the opposite side of the state's same street. All right, 5434OW1, state's fake sun moved again. Okay, and this is where 6VYG830 was monitoring and stalking. All right, communication device up in hand, monitoring while touching this old Latino male who I wouldn't let touch me with a 5-foot pole. 5434OW1 is touching with directed light. A stalker, a sex offender. Okay, license plate. And you prosecute for all of that. License plate. 6V95672. License plate. 8RLW208. 8XJS470, just stalking, sitting in their car while the state's fake sun is now at this upper portion of the parking lot, over the parking lot again, not over the parking lot in that video. All right. This demon 7WXD753 wearing a nurse scrubs outfit. Doesn't matter what the demon is wearing, as I also documented inside of the state facilitating venue of West Valley and Glen Helen Rehabilitation Center. They're demons in positions that they have no business in. That's what American Medical Response demonstrates. Demons in positions that they have no business in. All right. That's what the San Bernardino County Public Health Clinics located at 150 East Hope Boulevard demonstrates. Demons that they have no business in positions they have no business in. BT93T99. That's a paper plate on a Tesla. 8KPX040. She is group stalking, which is demonic activity. She's monitoring with communication devices while she's wearing a nurse's scrubs outfit and buying fried chicken at the venue of Stater Brothers, which has directed light all up and through that venue. She is monitoring conveniently through a facilitating venue. All of them are demon possessed in that environment. That's what her condition is while she's working in the medical field. All right, monitoring, showing the threat that she poses. It's the same analysis for anyone that you want to prosecute, especially the government and those in the position of law enforcement. 4WOG777 is now moving its vehicle, engaging in surveillance on the opposite side of the parking lot. That's a Latino male who is touching while doing so, stalking me. Okay, license plate 6BXL589. And if that's not an American citizen, 4WOG777, you ship them out of this country. They don't belong here. They have no business here. 00482N2. All right, these are just sex offenders, and they are speaking to the inferiority of what are the demon possessed, who are consumed with me, stalking me all together, and wanting to touch all over together. You know what that is? That's a demonic orgy. 7RRZ892, all of them wanting to touch all over my body together while they stalk me together. And that is the sexual violence of a government and the people, okay? And that's exactly what you're going to prosecute for, because that's exactly what they're doing. One after another, just touching, impossibly, all right? That's not sunlight that creates bars of light on the ground and next to you and touching all over a person. That's impossible. That's a stalker that's reaching out, going out of their way. Not only are they stalking you, but then they're touching you, okay? License plate, BM86B68. That's a paper plate on an Escalade. With a female in the passenger side. The driver has tattoos on his hands. It's a Latino male. And directed light on the Escalade. I'm sorry, directed light still touching while you're having what is supposed to be shiny rims. Demons engage in this conduct, trying to make some creative, if you will, aspect of the same criminal conduct, and there is no form for that. The rims on a vehicle are not arriving. Let me show you this psychopath. Alrighty, showing you video of what is, first of all, the movement of the state's fake sun. Second of all, a sex offender that's just loitering in relevant position while I'm being molested with directed light, and minions are crossing path, serially crossing path while I'm standing at that portion. And she's in operation of her communication device. She's monitoring. She's stalking. All right, and she is the same sex offender while she is monitoring to that molesting conduct by the minions who are driving by. Okay, she's just loitering. This is an example of what the entity is doing. She's not the only minion doing that. They're riddled in this parking lot, sitting in their cars, stalking in the path. All right, while you have those that are patrolling all around, those that are engaging in stationary surveillance, because the people of the state are engaging in surveillance as they are as one group, maintaining presence vicariously on behalf of the entity. 7ZWF731, all right? So understand that's what surveillance is. Second of all, I'm showing you what is an image of one who was stalking and monitoring in operation of her communication device in directed light under the fake sun while the state is stalking with directed light as well, molesting. 8:59 a.m. C, again, like I said, it's the same thing with 8XJS470. They're doing the same exact thing. All right? P.O.C. All right, these are demons that are lining the path in what is engineered light. Okay? 8XTH564. And doing so while demons are intentionally maintaining presence and the entity is intentionally going out of its way to touch, showing not only inferiority, obsessive stalking, but sexually violent conduct while they want to molest while they're stalking. That's what's wrong with the people of the state. They're demons, and they're demons that are acting in concert with the government that's practicing a satanic targeting system. All right, and you prosecute the government for engaging in what is touching, which is a molestation with that which is unnaturally occurring, and stalking via an incredible manner of doing so via a people, which is terrorism. All right, this demon stalking with activity. Look at this license, 7RJX180, ED094, handicap 8ULM381. And 7JDW421. Alrighty, this video that I just captured, by the way, 8GBE293. This video that I just captured, by the way, 5KXB165. This video that 5KKB165, 6MKR980, 3BKD168. This video that I just captured is showing not only has the state moved its fake sun as I move, so that is in one single parking lot at a single address, which is the State of Brothers parking lot area within the Ontario Village, as I go from the street, that sidewalk, back up to the storefront location in the same parking lot, okay? You have what is the movement of the state's fake sun that's moving north and south in the parking lot. And the state's fake sun is moving accordingly relative to me. 7HWW071. And not only that, you're remaining, I showed you what is the absence of any sun, which is east of in the east direction. And then when I'm at the B&G Plaza a couple days ago, I'm showing you what is the absence of any sun in the west direction, contrary to what it is doing right now. The state's fake sun is directly over me, moving as I move inside of this parking lot. All right. And I'm going to contrast those 2 days so you can remind yourself. And I'm also going to remind you about what the state's fake sun, where it was at, which was over my head, east in the city of Fontana, while I'm standing at the Fontana Police Department, and I'm communicating with a group stalker. Which is a communication of a threat by one who is monitoring, albeit with a smile on his face, while stalking, using the vehicles as light activity in the parking lot while they are focused on me, keeping their back to me, acting like they're focused on conversation. They're engaging in the same stalking conduct in the city of Fontana, okay? And I've already shown you what is stalking with light while I'm in the city of Fontana. An absolute departure from remaining on Hope Boulevard, remaining over the Ovid Family Community Library, over the 280 North Limit Apartments, all right? That's Southwest Airlines, the group stalker, hovering over the same parking lot, all right? So you have, and also not flying over the Hope Boulevard Street, flying right over here where I am in the parking lot. That's how Southwest Airlines is stalking. The same with FedEx, the same with UPS, which you're listening to. They're concentrating on where I am. So anyway, you have what is reminding yourself, and I'm going to contrast that for you so you can remind yourself of what I already documented, because this is revealing what is the irrefutable conduct of what is stalking with light. And what is that significant to? As I am documenting at a state facilitating venue of the Fontana Police Department, those are demon-possessed actors. As I've also shown while they are crossing paths with me on the roads and highways, monitoring with communication devices with the people, engaging in interstate stalking as well. But as I go to their venue and the state has its fake sun, which is still after this time, it's another 40 minutes from now, the state's fake sun, which is, again, the state has placed its fake sun as of 8:15 in the morning when I'm showing you, and it is already west of that location. Fontana is east of the city of Ontario. All right. So you have also, while I am in the city of Fontana, let's just go back a couple days. While I'm in the city of Fontana, the state is stalking with its fake sun, starting west of the city of Fontana, remaining in a perfect alignment with me as I travel to the city of Fontana, which the state is doing the exact same thing at all vastly different times of the day, doing that in the morning, doing that in the afternoon, all right, and doing so while it is starting from a city which is west of the destination, which is Fontana, doing that in the morning, and then engaging in keeping its fake sun in the city of Fontana, which is still visible and in alignment with me while I remain in the city of Fontana. That's what the state was doing the other night while I'm showing you at 4:19, 4:17 is around 4:15 in the evening. And the state is aiming direct light inside of the Fontana Lewis Library computer lab, showing you what are demons who are stalking, psychopaths, not doing anything else. It's an entire state system that is focused on me, all right? A bunch of inferior demons who are engaging in criminal activity, okay? That's what it's relevant to. And the fact that they're demon-possessed is relevant to what is terrorism. The very pattern of conduct amongst demons is terrorism, as it is engaged in concert with the government. And so you have what is the state's fake sun that I'm showing you in the evening, remaining visible in alignment with me after 4-something in the evening, and the state's fake sun over my head at 9:45 approximately at the Fontana Police Department, which is, let me be clear, on the opposite side of the same Miller Amphitheater, the Miller Field. It's the Fontana Police Department is right there next to the Fontana Lewis Library, okay? And that is documentation. That's just another example of which I've already shown, but that in and of itself is showing, because this is supposed to be the sun, so the documentation isn't limited to one day, okay? The state is keeping its fake sun in one city based on where I am. The state is keeping its fake sun in a city that is east of this city, which is Ontario. Understand how that works as well. And I've also shown you, while I remain in Ontario, on one street, I've shown you multiple videos of the state moving its fake sun while I'm in the vehicle, and I'm showing you this at different times of the day. It is traveling, remaining in perfect alignment with me early in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, and it's going east on Hope Boulevard. And I'm showing you this in the afternoon, and maintaining the same presence and alignment with me, going east on Hope Boulevard. 5KFM 818. This is supposed to be the sun, though, rising in the east and setting in the west. The state engages in this rising on the east side of where I am, remaining over my head for the duration of the day, and engaging in an incremental movement, but not movement at all, because it engages in following where if I were to move, and then remaining on what is going to be my right side, which is supposed to be some conduct of movement to the west while it's continuously remaining next to me while it's on the right side of me, speaking to what is not the sun. All right, this is the state stalking with a light source. It is an inferior 8WYV208 and very poor and unpersuasive, and all you have to do is document it, and that is not the sun. And not only that, you're talking about, say, anybody in any other state talking about you saw the sun. Well, it's not the sun that's in the state of California, because the state is keeping it over me and where I am for the duration of a day. All right, so you're talking about what is a blatant, plain revealing of stalking with a light, and that is an incredible method of terrorism by government. All right, in the state of California, like I said, this is that which is an unspoken system, and this is part of the reason why you have what are psychopaths engaging in a determined effort to continue that system, but do not speak of what they are engaging in absolute denial, and that's going to be prosecuted as what is a dangerous psychopath, because the secret is out. Okay, and so you're not going to continue to wage a threat, acting in your alternate universe, disconnected from reality, which is also demonstrated by your engagement in the pattern of conduct. You're waging more and more of a threat while you're documenting engaging in that P.O.C. All right, you are clearly under that which is not the sun. All right, and any person and for Northern California that is not a third party and or state actor can testify to that, because in Northern California, they're not getting any sun when the state is keeping its faith. That's not the sun. That's not the sun that the state's keeping over my head. It's a concession, as you documented. San Francisco would never get any sun, okay, because of what I've documented. The state is keeping it over between the city of Ontario, literally on the street over the building where I'm at for the duration of the day. No other location in Northern California, and I'm just being broad in that. You're talking about no other county. Oh, but it is when I go to that county. That's what I documented in Los Angeles. That's a grand departure from remaining on Hope Boulevard, remaining over the Ovid Family Community Library, remaining over the Upland Public Library based on where I'm at. That's a grand departure. That's not the sun. All right. So like I said, it is currently 9:08 a.m. and you hear the state sounding plane activity. Demon 3FGD183 monitoring. License plate 8PYV361. Crossing path while the state is sounding. No, you go on ahead. Crossing path while the state is sounding. All right. Plane activity. They're patrolling. License sitting in his car, monitoring to that 92612X2. And I just want to make sure if I got all of these. 8YPG907, 4GOY971. I'm sorry, 4GOY971. 8JYU051, 81363L2, 8NFB477, 6RBY247, 6ZUU563. That's plane activity right over my head. All right, moving in the parking lot where I move, and that is the group stalker. That is UPS again. And let's see, license plate 4UDB428. 8WEM616, 7GUS172. 7L89461. 8KGC825. 8CLN640. 8VFV163. Let's see, 50133B3, 8WSP3, I'm sorry, AWSP835, 8MBL068. It's currently 9:10 a.m. And the state is keeping its fake sun over the Ontario Village Shopping Center. And that is in direct conflict with being anywhere near, which pursuant to, first of all, nature, but also common sense, what the state, what I've documented, what the state does with its fake sun remains where I am. So I'm going nowhere near Fontana. That's why the state's fake sun is remaining over me. And that's why the state's fake sun was over my head at the Fontana Police Department in a city that is east of the city of Ontario, maintaining, however, central presence over me. 8FTB763. 3FGD183, 7SBZ755, 7THV585, 6NLC971. So while I'm over here in front of DD's Discounts, what you're hearing is plane activity. And what the state did is it is hovering, flying down west over what is essentially Hope Boulevard. And then it begins increasing in elevation as it's preparing to fly over me, and the state is playing a tape of sound of plane activity. That is the group stalker Southwest Airlines. I am looking at it rise up in elevation. So you're talking about what is necessarily flying at a very low elevation, hovering, and this is far from the Ontario airport, okay? And this is what the state is doing everywhere, including over the 630 North Fern location where I'm inside of the car, and the state is aiming direct light, and the people of the state are stalking in the path. All right, you have the same conduct, and that's what I'm speaking to. You're not in the same way that it does right now, increasing elevation right over me, as though that's the excuse for the audible activity. It's not. You are hovering in a plane and waiting until you get to my location to increase in that elevation. If you were actually taken off from the Ontario airport, it would already be higher in elevation, and you would not, first of all, hear it, and second of all, it would not be hovering over this particular location where I happen to be at. And what is the ongoing pattern? That it's occurring under what is not the sun as well. All right. And it is amplified. That's what the state was doing yesterday at the Ontario Over Family Community Library, while the demons are maintaining presence all around me, and they are stalking with light. It's the same P.O.C. All right. You have the people maintaining National Construction Rentals, maintaining light activity, Innovage maintaining light activity, McCarthy maintaining audible activity. Okay, you have what are third parties that are engaging in maintenance of light activity while they are in relevant position. So basically, in the same way that the state places its fake sun, which, by the way, at 9:13 a.m., I've already shown you the placement of the state's fake sun over that venue, and that's in conflict with this as well. Like I said, that in that venue, the 280 North Lemon Apartments is east of the Ontario Village where I am right now. Also is going to be impossible. That's not the sun that's in the city of Fontana. That's over my head. That's the same fake sun. That's the state's light source. All right. And you're looking at what is common sense analysis. Fontana is, again, east of the city of Ontario. So if this is actually the sun, you're talking about a whole bunch of documentation that already exists of the state rising 7 ppb 348 with its fake sun while I'm at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. All right. That's not just lost in the vacuum. That still exists, and this is what the state is doing. And the state started with its fake sun at 630 North Fern this morning, which is west of the Fontana Police Department, whereas at 9:50 going on 10 o'clock in the morning, the state's fake sun is east of the city of Ontario, in conflict with being anywhere visible over my head if this was actually the sun. And this is how you can hold down what is a fake sun, stalking by a government, hold it down to what would be the conduct of the actual sun. And you can analyze it to what is the directions relevant to what is north, south, east, and west, what is maintenance of central presence, regardless of what direction you move in or where you travel, what is the maintenance of that which is supposed to be the sun while it's remaining over a single address, what is supposed to be the sun where it is hovering over buildings, which if that was actually the sun, it would set it on fire. You're looking at all of this when you're assessing what is stalking with light and understanding it, because I have established it for you. So I'm telling you what I've already told you and what I've showed you. All right. So you're also understanding, again, this is common sense. Rising in the east and setting in the west. No, it's rising over Erica and remaining over Erica. And if Erica doesn't go east, which is to the city of Fontana, which is where I was the other day, at a time after this, it's 9:15, going on 10 o'clock in the morning, after 9:45 in the morning, I believe. It was approximately 9:46 a.m., if I recollect correctly. And I will go ahead and contrast that because I'm showing you what is stalking with light. It's a cumulative documentation. Having already established what is stalking with light, this is a tutorial understanding what the government is doing. And so you have what is, if that's the state's, if that was actually the sun, in other words, it's not going to coexist with maintaining central presence, not just presence in the sky space. You're not talking about a light source that's relative to what is, if it's over the Fontana Police Department, okay, then if I stay in the city of Fontana at the same time, and that's the sun, then, I won't even say it's impossible to see it. It's not going to maintain central presence over my head, though, or over anyone's head. All right. That's not what that is. That's real-time movement. And that's maintenance of presence over me. OK. And what coexists with that? Directed light, impossible light, demons that are stalking, moving all around, while directed light is all over the place, speaking to their focus, which is me. They are stalking. It's a very specific signature. It's the same thing with the commercial airline planes flying directly over me, hovering not from any airport. You're not hovering coming from the airport. In the same way that they engage in quote unquote taking off over me right here in a matter of seconds, that's exactly what you would be doing from the airport, but you're not. You're hovering, you're stalking, you're creeping in a plane, and then you're rising in elevation right over me, which is supposed to be the form for that audible activity. It's not form. You use your common sense. And it's also occurring under what is a a fake sun and indirected light. Southwest Airlines is a group stalker, a demon-possessed company. Those employees, those flying those planes in positions that they have no business in. None. Okay? All right? And you have what is the third parties that I have continuously documented. And this morning, it includes Southwest Airlines, it includes FedEx, it includes UPS 7THV585, and this demon 7WID258, directed light on the passenger side on the ground while they're stalking in the parking lot. Not even parked in a spot, just facing me with their vehicle, focused on me. This is a stalker listening to me prosecute the entity. All right, it is. That's the ominous stalking by the people, by the way. It's 9:17 a.m. This is an African-American male. All right, I just wanted to show you what was the stalking activity by the people of the state while I'm giving you a breakdown of the analysis that applies to the prosecution of any. You can fill in the blank. It's the prosecution of the people. It's the prosecution of the state itself. The government is already prosecuted. License 7WID259 is that third party who is stalking in the parking lot with directed light under the fake sun at 9:17 in the morning. So like I was stating, you have what is that common sense breakdown of what is clearly not the sun and what is stalking with that which is not the sun in every which way that you look at it. And that's exactly what I have revealed. So you have what is then getting into the necessary policy and getting into what is the application of that policy. The impermissible threat by a government that is obsessed with you, that's terrorism where the government is obsessed, because that's what stalking is. And that's what the government is doing, and that's what the people are doing. All right? They are demon-possessed. They're inferior. And that condition is revealing what is terrorism while they're stalking altogether. 8FFB857. And that's exactly what you're doing in directed light, under a fake sun, engaging in demonic behavior. 7FDL983, stalking with noise, stalking with light. 4FDG236, because that's exactly what the people do. And so you have what is terrorism while they engage in that. They are engaging in conduct on behalf of and in concert with the government. All right, who is engaging in obsessive conduct stalking, that is terrorism, with third-party commercial airline planes. That's what I am showing you. All right. It is currently licensed. Let me see. It's currently 9:20 a.m. and that African-American male who was stalking with direct light under the fake sun focused on me. All right. That again, that's license plate 4WID. I'm sorry, 7WID259. You can see the shadow of the vehicle. You can see the directed light beside the vehicle. You can see the fake sun over the vehicle. He's a stalker, and he's focused on me. And that's a psychopath while they are doing that. That's what the people do routinely. And the jig is up with regard to what these demons are focused on me, what they are doing, stalking, and who they are doing it with, the state. 7EPZ229, 8DEM060, 5XBR017, 4WRW350. It is 9:20 a.m. This is Ontario Village Shopping Center. That is P.O.C. Alrighty, 6CRJ215. That is license 6CRJ215. Union Pacific is a method of audible activity creation. You hear it. It starts in the moment that I press record on my phone. Stalking with activity, and that is a demon who I take a picture of sitting in their vehicle, and the fake sun is right over them, and that's right over me. So they're stalking in the path. That's what I'm showing you a picture of. All right, directed light underneath his car, which is impossible light, while 8GEH601 crosses path. Okay, while you're hearing what is amplified audible activity, which is going to be attributed to what is Union Pacific, who uses the Amtrak train tracks, none of which you're going to hear at this location. You're not going to hear it at that volume. You're not going to hear it at all. It's a method of stalking with activity. I just want to make sure I read that license plate, and I also took a picture of that. 8GEH601 is a demon who was stalking, and directed light appears underneath that other third party's car while they are crossing path. Alrighty, it is 9:23 a.m. and I did capture an image of that stalker. I want to get these license plates. I know I have not gotten them, I don't think. License 6AWD305, 7DYJ398. In case I didn't. This is in front of Stater Brothers. Yeah, in front of Stater Brothers. So, let's see. Pacing using a vehicle. It knows that I'm looking for their license plate. So how do they engage in creation of light? They instead stop going forward, and they engage in going in reverse. 23339U2. Stalking in a parking spot, and then they leave from the parking spot as I get this other license plate. Stalking with light. 4AWD305. Okay. License. I'll get this license plate over here. Yeah, that's a Latino male, both of them. That looks like a black female in his van with the WD license plate? Yeah. License plates, let me see. He's 7NIN158. He's stalking in the parking lot, sitting in the parking lot. Just like I showed you the video of the stalker. She's sitting in her car engaged in surveillance. This is what they're doing, maintaining presence. 7ZXP518. Let's see. Go ahead, shut it, Satan. 7JGS 071. I think, yeah, I read his already. He was sitting in his car while the state was flying over me by plane. 8YND157. 7JGS071 has documented itself on camera completing purchases and is now exiting the venue and filling up his car with groceries. It's all on surveillance cameras. Everything that's remaining, as I'm inside of, in other words, as I remain at the Ontario Village, everything that is ongoing on camera is stalking activity. All of them are stalking. 70YJ398. The people are coming to the grocery store and maintaining presence, stalking with the state. That you hear is stalking in planes. There is nothing that they are buying that is anything other than ongoing relevant positioning and light activity while they're crossing paths in the parking lot, stalking to go to this venue. 5WZ439, other than engaging in stalking activity, okay? 5PUK825. That's a demon creating noise in directed light. All right, it's 9:25 a.m. You have the employee, the white male, whose image I've captured before. He's crossing paths in the parking lot, and his entire venue is riddled with directed light. He's monitoring and stalking. 7BPJ842, 6RLS577. And he's the same employee, by the way, of the group that go run over to where Miss Donuts is, where the fake sun is over me, over that part of the parking lot, and directed light is on the ground. 6UVX136. License 6NPU258, 8C90567. Let me make sure. 67795M2, I believe. In case I didn't read that one. All right, you're looking at what is an image of audible activity creation and relevant positioning. All right, it is 9:26 a.m. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sure if he walked out to his car, I've already gotten his license plate, but I certainly got his image. So it is 9:26 a.m. This is P.O.C. at Stater Brothers, where the state's fake sun has remained since, what is it, 8:30? Like I said, I'm going to keep repeating it because it's exactly what you're focusing on. The state kept its fake sun stationary on this same street at B&G Plaza while I remained at that parking lot. This was just days ago, and as I was facing south, showing you what is that fake sun remaining while I remain at that bus stop, and Omnitrans is molesting with directed light while they're stalking, all right, crossing path repeatedly, and I'm showing you the demon who drives that bus, stepping out while the state is hovering in commercial airline planes over that B&G Plaza, which is not hovering over the Stater Brothers. They're taking off, right, supposedly. That's what they're doing at the B&G Plaza there. So, right, so you're not going to be hovering over the Stater Brothers parking lot unless you are engaging in what is hovering and then taking off over me and then hovering again when you get to the Stater Brothers and then taking off again. Is that what they're doing in the commercial airline planes? No. It is more likely than not the exact same pattern of conduct that I have demonstrated. The entity is stalking with commercial airline planes. Those are third parties. The entity is stalking via the people of the state who are stalkers with a specific signature of directed light under what is also a specific signature of fake sun over my head and another specific signature, amplified audible activity. All right, and that was just the other day. And I'm going to contrast that. You have what is the state keeping its fake sun over the Ontario Village Shopping Center on Hope Boulevard. And I'm showing you what is also just the day before yesterday at, I'm going to see, maybe about 20 minutes from now, the state's fake sun is over me while I'm already in the city of Fontana, which is the city of Fontana, again, is east of the city of Ontario. And you have maintenance of presence right over my head, which is a light source in the sky that you can see while I'm at the Fontana Police Department. State has kept it stationary right here over the Ontario Village, 8CNY618. In the city of Ontario, which is west of the city of Fontana, at the Ontario Village Shopping Center, which is west of the B&G Plaza in the same city. That's P.O.C. in the same directed light and stalking conduct with the people via commercial airline planes. It's 9:28 a.m. Alrighty, stalking with activity. You've got directed light while they pull into a parking spot. This identity of a stalker. 7EKL862. A big-haired white woman. 6NPU258. Alrighty, you can see the directed light on the wall behind her. She's also touching with directed light while she pulls into a parking spot. Has absolutely no possible way of this naturally happening. She's a demon-possessed stalker, a psychopath, and a sex offender, engaging in terrorism with the state. All right, and then using a shopping cart, which is audible activity in that same engineered light. And I took an image of what is her presence, and directed light is covering the wall on the brick wall, which is underneath a shaded structure, and the state's fake sun remains over the venue as well. It is currently 9:33 a.m. It is currently 11:50 a.m., 11:51 a.m. when I captured video of what is the state's fake sun remaining over the Ontario Village Shopping Center. And I'm showing you what is stalking conduct as I walk out of the venue. So as I walk out of the door at the venue, you have what is a group stalker that's immediately present for purposes of stalking, crossing path in engineered light, directed light underneath the shaded structure of the Ontario Village shopping area. What is a group stalker engaged in surveillance, stalking standing on the side of the column, and the fake sun in perfect alignment with where I am standing over my head. And this is showing you what is the maintenance also of that presence of that fake sun for over 3 hours over the Ontario Village Shopping Center. And all of this, again, is west of what is the Fontana Police Department, where I'm showing you just the other day at 9:46 in the morning, the state's fake sun is over my head while I'm facing east, standing at that Fontana Police Department, okay? This is the maintenance of that light sources, and this is exactly what the Fontana Police Department were engaged in. They're of the same demon possession, engaged in the same state system, and they are representing the state directly, all right? So this is P.O.C. Demons patrolling while directed light is on the venue of the Habit restaurant. Demons are crossing paths, 3XHL472. And this African-American male is standing in front of, at least, license plate. What is this? 29483B3. 5GLU314. The state engaging in amplifying helicopter activity over the over the Ontario Village Shopping Plaza. License plate 7VPR459 and did so 3 times. License 8NDR348. License plate 8WEM616 7GUS172. I want to get this license plate. This demon-possessed stalker is stalking through the drive-thru of Habit, okay? And directed light is on the restaurant of Habit while they're sitting in a drive-thru. License 07028V2. Monitoring with the United States Postal Service, who was stalking on Hope Boulevard as well. Directed light on the venue. The address is 607. That's on Hope Boulevard. Those demons are monitoring and stalking on Hope Boulevard in relevant position, where United States Postal Service is also loitering, and directed light is moving across the building. Seidner's Collision Center at 611 Hope Boulevard, okay? They're all monitoring and stalking. License 6RFG436. License 8MLT197. All right, I'm showing you what is in an image. License 7VXS607, stalking and touching with directed light while United States Postal Service is stalking in the path, while Union Pacific, which is the train that is pacing up and down the Amtrak train tracks and amplified in volume, while directed light is swiping across the buildings of the addresses 607 Hope Boulevard, 611 Hope Boulevard, the Merino Salon. All of those are surfaces where demons are crossing path, and the directed light is touching on those surfaces. Absolutely impossible light activity. They're stalking, including the United States Postal Service, and I take a picture of that demon that is in that vehicle representing U.S.P.S. Wearing a uniform of U.S.P.S. engaging in criminal conduct, all right? And they are in the position of the government. That's the federal government systematically monitoring and stalking. 8XOV335. And you're looking at what is the exact same fake sun while United States Postal Service, a demon, hiding behind that position, all right? Engaging in targeting an American citizen and monitoring with the people of the state. License plate 1422124. All right, just to give you an example of what is surveillance and stalking via a drive-thru, how demons engage in ongoing conspicuous stalking, because that's exactly what it is. Directed light is on the ground in front of the vehicle with the license plate that I just read while they were stalking in the path. They're monitoring with USPS. They're monitoring with the demons pacing around on Hope Boulevard. Okay, they're one entity. 7ZAY621. The weed whacker is a means of audible activity. It's another demon. Okay, 92163H3. 8RNE338, 5HWA167, 78654S1, 7J26962, 7B40525, 7YME621, 5UDK671, 7ZDZ815, 6CPU472, 8BGR117, 7JOC591, 8SBU721, 8HDT880, 8DEM060, 7EPZ229, 8VIJ464, 7UHW328, 7THV585, 6XJR157, 7SBZ755, MDEALBA, 7LNU284, 8MBL068, 7DKM563, and UPS is stalking, amplifying plane activity, stalking over the Ontario Village Shopping Center and making a U-turn in alignment. 5COZ157, 50133B3, 7GED761, 8GXF903, 8PLB284, 8FSU531, 8BSK039, 8WSP8. Oh, I read that one already. I think I read those already. 6HYN772. I think I read that one earlier. 5SJB258, 7HPS113, 8ANR769, 7EYP987, 8SMH351, 6SQT235, 7LLN594. All right, I'm walking through the village and I'm getting the license plates that are in the parking lot. I'm on the DD's discount side where I was earlier this morning as well. So understand any license plate that I'm reciting, again, for a second time, it is either you're talking about the stalking conduct of the people of the state who are monitoring documentation. You literally have demons that engage in patrolling around, repeatedly being documented, which they're going to be prosecuted for. But also reminding because I'm in the same parking lot area and I'm reading license plates. Okay, so bear that in mind. 6LGW156, 297UD handicap, 7FIV597, 4LFU732, 8WEK313, 7YJJ206, 6VHA060, 6KKD455, 8ULV8. I think I read that one. 8PO. I think I read that one too. 7FIN396, 7UPV769, paper BU89F40, 8PYV361, paper BF67B44, 8XZU127, 6BEX, that's an E, right? Looks like A. I think I read this one already anyway. Let me see. 6BFX0, 6BFX098, 8ULB584, let's read that one, 5XBX657, 6KKD, read that one, 7GRY338, read that one, 7LZS546, 8WTD109, this is Texas, NFC 7063, 8RFY943, 8SKH406, 8SZA946, 6UOE668, 6YGA552, 6RPR604. What I want to bring to your remembrance is 7COA546, 6WLN499, BP08W82 paper. What I want to bring to your remembrance is what I documented as I remained at the B&G Plaza, traveling to that venue at 7:30 in the morning, and the state kept its fake sun there after 10 a.m. What I have done is I am west of that location at B&G Plaza, whereas on that day I showed you the absence of any sun in this direction. And I want to be clear, pay attention to the pattern. The state amplifies plane activity as it listens to me point out that which I'm going to prosecute, and that is the group stalker that is Southwest Airlines flying right over me in the location of the parking lot where I'm at. Pay attention to that pattern. They engage in that as I point out the analysis, what you're paying attention to, okay? That's a psychopath. That's the sex offender. That is the stalker, all right? So like I was stating, as I remained at that B&G Plaza, arriving at 7:30 a.m., which is east of this location, all right? You're talking about being at the now the Ontario Village, which is west of B&G Plaza, and this is just looking at just Hope Boulevard in one city, on one street. All right, and I showed you at B&G Plaza the absence of any sun in this direction, and that's why this morning also 8PLB284, I showed you while I'm west of B&G Plaza the absence of any sun over that B&G Plaza. But while I was there just the other day, You see what is clearly over my head at that B&G Plaza, okay? And so, like I said, what you're paying attention to is this morning while I'm here at 8:15 and I show you video, you're looking at and remembering what is the maintenance of this fake sun over this location as I step out and I get video after 11 a.m. Whereas on that day, just a few days ago, the state kept its fake sun over the B&G Plaza, and then I go to the Ovid Family Community Library and it's over the 280 North Lemon Apartments. All right, that's stalking with light. That's the impossibility of being a sun. And you're talking about stalking in concert with 19244G3, 6WCV770. They're demon-possessed psychos who are stalking, hovering stalking. And it's an entire system that I've exposed, okay? Broken and wide open. All right, and the entity is going to the extent of stalking in commercial airline planes, wasting those sorts of resources, stalking in helicopters, which is terrorism while the entity does so. But look, you're thinking about the expenditure that they're engaging in to stalk one person. That's how important I am. 4XFS412. That's how much they are focused on me. And you are under a fake sun, and that is clear documentation yet again of what is not the sun and impossible to be the sun. First of all, hovering over any one of those addresses, remaining on the same street, 7GRY338. But also remaining over the B&G Plaza and then remaining over me as I travel to the Ovid Family Community Library. In conflict with that, I am at a later time west of the B&G Plaza and remaining here, nowhere in the direction of, in other words, west of what is that location where the state kept its fake sun and remained, and you have it what is remaining here after 11 a.m. That documentation exists already, and I show you step by step what is stalking with the fake sun. All right, that's the incontrovertible and direct evidence, irrefutable, of stalking with a fake sun, stalking with directed light, and it is that which you prosecute the people with. All right, they are demon-possessed. These are psychopaths, very dangerous psychopaths, engaging in a state system, losing what is the ongoing competition. There is no competition. Satan is a loser. Satan and all of his minions are losers. This is the reality of what is their condition. Now, in the natural, I'm going to prosecute these demons and show them to be the dangers that they pose while they're demon-possessed. That it goes for law enforcement. That goes for those flying airplanes and helicopters. That goes for those robed in the law enforcement, those in the court system, those in the medical field, those with the fire department. Okay? Because that's what it's revealing. 4WXW216, 8NWB071, 8ARD582, 8XNR611, 8TDP771. And it is 12:03 p.m. All right, I did show you more video showing what is the targeting conduct, as I've already established, with the fake sun, 8THE419, and showing you what is moving as I move, not only with the fake sun, but with directed light, which the demon-possessed entity, the people of the state, are in tow with, acting as one, in accord. The plane activity, the fake sun, the directed light, the people of the state, demon-possessed, stalking with that entity. 34883Z1 is stalking in the vehicle. She has a baby girl in the vehicle while she is engaging in monitoring and stalking another American citizen. Again, her license plate 34883Z1, monitoring with the state. All right, P.O.C. It is 12:05 p.m. The lawnmowers, and the weed whackers, those are, let me be clear, they are indicative of the type of minions that you're going to ship out of the country. These are Latino males. If they are not natural-born citizens while they're out here practicing a trade, monitoring an American citizen, okay? Doing so, send them and their weed whackers back to their place of origin, where they're monitoring with the government under the fake sun. It's audible activity. 8TPD082, and that's what you're listening to. All right, 7ENY531, 8N67591. 8WZN733, 8NWB071, Stalker, 7WFL397, Stalker, 8TCC938, And this is third-party facilitating venue creating audible activity, the Ontario Plaza Apartments, where, by the way, remember, the state's fake sun was over me and the Ontario Police Department were loitering in relevant position. And it is 12:06 p.m. and I caught that video of that. That's P.O.C. That's that's UPS that is hovering again in another plane, 5UMK829, 7HEA431. And I took a picture. It is 12:06 p.m. of the state's fake sun while UPS is targeting its location where it's hovering over the houses to fly in relevant position to me. 6LGL146. That's audible activity from a facilitating venue under the fake sun. That is Ontario Plaza Apartments. 7JFH611, 8ETA132, directed light in front of the car and the side of the car while they're crossing path. 3LUW253. And I showed you an image of that. That's a facilitating venue. Manage engagement systematically in the elements of monitoring. And doing so, this is under the fake sun, which I'm showing you is over the venue. 3LUW253 and stalking with the demon-possessed stalker. That is 8JTB488. 8Z82086. 8C67731. 8TBP681. 58NF296. And this one is 6SJV 848. 6SJV848. Oh, let me get this demon also. They're just patrolling 8TRW176. They're obsessed stalkers. You just got one demon after another. Engaged in surveillance, sitting in their car while the other demons are patrolling around. This is license plate DJP 7301, which is a Texas. It's a black and white Texas. He's in a Land Rover, and this demon then turns on his brake lights. All right, he's engaged in surveillance, and as he is monitoring my documentation, the moment that I take a picture of him, he's been chilling in relevant position while the demons are monitoring to that activity by the Ontario Plaza Airport. I'm sorry, by the Ontario Plaza Apartments, by the minions that are crossing paths with directed light. He's engaged in surveillance, stalking and monitoring, 7BIR135. The moment that I get his license plate, he pulls off, which is the creation of activity. All right? 72176F3, but it is also pursuant to what is knowledge. It's activity creation, 7BFU023. It's not an ongoing coincidence. It's also under a fake sun and indirect light. It's the absence of coincidence. Like I said, it is currently 12:09 p.m. 8WUS342, 7XFD156. See, 64380M1. And I did take an image of what is that third-party group stalker that was stalking at the top of the street of Vesta and Bonita. And I'm showing you what is a fake sun, and he's got the black and white Texas plate in the black SUV. 7T34200. And where is the state concentrating its plane activity? Right here where I'm walking off of what is Vesta. That's amplified audible activity while they are higher in elevation. Impossible audible activity, just playing the tape of noise. And, right, and engineered light while the fake sun is remaining over, not over Hope Boulevard, and it's certainly not over the 280 North Lemon Apartments. All right, it's right over me, going down the path that I am taking to get to walk what is east. 7RNA861, which is the absence of any sun. All right, and it's also not the sun when I'm there. I'm showing you the fake sun, but it's the absence of the state's fake sun over the 280 North Lemon Apartments, which is the position that the state places its fake sun while I'm at the Ovid Family Community Library. License 7YXW163. 6NJT888. And it is 12:10 p.m. 7AWR151. At Vine and Vesta at 507, third-party facilitating venue 507 Vesta Street. And directed light while I walk past that venue. That's why I documented them. They are a venue. 8SBU721. And by directed light, that is documented at 507 Vesta Street. Meaning I'm walking in the shade. The fake sun is above me while I'm at this venue, walking past it. And I'm walking in the shade also in front of this venue, and my shadow is appearing in the shade on that house. 5ZMK673, 7FQR292. That is the state that is molesting with directed light as I am in the shade, right? Ostensibly, you're in the shade. No, you're not. The state is always molesting. It's a sex offender. 8SWY671, and so are the people of the state. They're obsessed demons. 6KDM299, who like to chase you into the bathroom. 7BCS728, listen till you go to the bathroom. Listen till you pull down your panties. Engage in their demented activity conduct, their demonic elements, right? Because that's what I've broken them down, their elements. And they engage in their demonic activity while they listen till you pull your panties down. All right, that's the sex offender. That is a demented actor. And that's the people of the state. Every single last one of them. Okay? That is the sex offender. 8EOU253. License plate 7RBD280. They're the same entity, like I'm stating, that is stalking, where they know exactly where I'm sleeping. 7KPH841. And this directed light that you're seeing on the side of the Panda, or the Ontario Village, that's where I was at, Ontario Village, at the Bonita driveway. The directed light that you're seeing swiping across that building, which is absolutely impossible light activity, that's the same directed light the state is aiming inside of the vehicle, where the same stalking entity, the same psychopath sex offender, it's following, remaining there, engaging in surveillance, listening to me sleep, stalking at all nights, engaging in terrorism, aiming directed light. That's the obsessed stalker. All right, it's the same entity. Timco Logistics. Timco is spelled TEMCO, Logistics. License 2824648. Monitoring with 7VCR694, 6JIM672 at third-party facilitating venue 405 C Street. The same venue that I documented the state stalking, hovering in a commercial airline plane, directed light while this demon in that license plate that I just recited crosses path. All right, 7VCR694, engaging in that terrorism. Let me show you something. All right, showing you what is the fake sun right here, where Timco is using its commercial vehicle as a means of loitering in relevant position, where the demon with license plate 7VCR694 crosses path, and directed light appears in the shade where you see me standing on that side of the truck. There's shade. That demon is crossing path, and directed light is on the ground while she does so. All right, old as dirt. All right, serving Satan, monitoring and stalking. 5DGB374 in front of what is third-party facilitating venue 405 C Street. 401 to 405 C Street, which I've documented that venue as well. That's exactly where the state was hovering over commercial airline planes with its fake sun, where it is right now. All right. And remember, on the day that I documented that venue in particular, United States Postal Service was stalking under the fake sun. I was coming from what was the Open Family Community Library, where I documented the state starting with its fake sun, and I was walking west. Today I'm walking east, remaining at the village earlier, 8AOU010, and walking what is the opposite direction, and then you have the same maintenance of a fake sun over my head. Recall that documentation as well. Alrighty, P.O.C. 5PZC061. 8WDN036, and that's audible activity of 312 C Street, who's using a communication device. 8KDF909. That's audible activity under fake sun. 312 C Street. That's P.O.C. She's telling her dog chill while she's monitoring with her phone. 8FLH488 is monitoring to that audible activity as well. License plate 4JIS256. Let me tell you, the demons inside of the library, they're giving you another example of that, the psychopath that is stalking and monitoring you and creating audible activity while they are feigning to stop that activity that they're monitoring. For example, demons will bring in their children who are loud and running around in engineered light, and the demon parent, a third-party facilitator, which you prosecute for that as well. There's many grounds of prosecution there. Will be like, shh, telling their kids, be quiet, settle down, sit down, stop all that. It's disingenuous activity creation, 8LMM287, of a psychopath and a sex offender, because they're engaging in that P.O.C. while the state is molesting me with directed light, and while they're stalking, engaging in stalking with the state. All right, all of this is ongoing while they are disingenuous and telling their dog under the fake sun and indirect light, or telling their minionite children in directed light, all right, to be quiet or stop running around. They're monitoring to that. All right, that's P.O.C. That's breaking down the conduct of psychopaths and stalkers. BU52K15, 7FVM543. 218 C Street, Where the state's fake sun is? All right, approaching the chiropractor's office where I showed you the state's fake sun was over this venue remaining for the duration of the day, like it was setting and it wasn't setting nowhere. My directed light was molesting me on the sidewalk while I was showing my shadow was appearing. 7YDB462. All right, I've documented the chiropractor's office, which was the venue, those demons, as I showed you in picture by picture. I spelled out that P.O.C. On my website, so you can witness what was the use of any location for a facilitating venue for purposes of stalking with the state. 8NRU664. And this is where the state's fake sun is, where you are engaging in surveillance with 8TKJ522, who's stalking on the sidewalk, where the state is sounding helicopter activity. And this is at the same venue, which is the chiropractor's office and, hold on, Dental Kids Club. We've got the address of 212 on C Street, Dental Kids Club, Suite 100, 212A and 102. This is the suite at Dental Kids Club, I suppose. That's the name of the venue here. And the chiropractor's office is on the opposite side of the street. Alrighty, I did show what is an ongoing combination of hallmarks and of the prosecution of 8TKJ522 representing the people, stalking, lining the roads, engaging in sexual violence and terrorism with a minor child in the car. That's how much of a priority I am, all right, and the danger that she's posing while the government, via the Ontario police, engaging in kidnapping, theft of property, assault and battery, and all manner of harassment and physical violence. All right, she is stalking and terrorizing with that agency that is intentionally crossing path under a fake sun, which is in perfect alignment with me as it is as I remain at the venue of the Ontario Village and showing what is the absence of any sun even in the direction which is east on C Street at 12:19 p.m. 8EDB884, and that's what I'm going to prosecute the people for, all right? You're talking about posing a threat not only to our little Mennonite child, you're talking about posing a threat, threatening my life with the government that's hovering over commercial airline planes and not hovering over anymore the Ontario Village Shopping Center, all right? Targeted to where I am in the same way that you see with the fake sun. 12:20 p.m. 6MHZ715, and the police that are stalking at all times visibly makes themselves present. 8PVB169, as I point out, the criminal activity already documented here, VASA stalking, 8DHJ537 stalking. All right, as I point out, the prosecution of this minion that was using its office where it does business, 235 North Laurel, as a facilitating venue where the state kept its fake sun. All right, where the state was stalking via helicopter. Ontario police intentionally drive by at that moment, those minions that listen to every syllable that I utter and do so under what is the fake sun. It is the absence of coincidence. 5JOR477, how else are you deducing that? The pattern of stalking and kidnapping by that same agency, but also the absence of the fake sun over Hope Boulevard. 1554788, City of Ontario. You already know about those demons. All right, the state's fake sun is not over Hope Boulevard. I'm walking on C Street. That is a migration to be over me where I am. All right, and the Ontario police, just like I showed you, where the state's fake sun was remaining at B&G Plaza, as they are listening to me, because I know that they're listening to every syllable. They're going to federal prison, and I'm revealing what is their condition, which poses a danger to the public, as they're engaging in criminal conduct of their position, of their condition, which is demon possession. All right, showing the fact that they are literally unfit, as they are also demonstrating through their criminal system that they're operating with the people, they are unfit to be in that position. You have what is the Ontario police crossing paths on Hope Boulevard as I'm uttering that. 7KKS271 on that morning, which I showed you. And I'm showing you this morning while I'm at the Ontario Village, west of the B&G Plaza, the absence of any sun, where the Ontario police are understood to be intentionally stalking, and also at the second that they are visibly stalking, because they're always stalking. There are demons hiding around, stalking inconspicuously around corners, hiding in dark parking garages, hiding on back streets, as I've documented them doing, 6ZUU563, and engaging in crossing paths visibly while they listen to me tell them what's going to happen. VASA. All right, parks at a venue. And this venue I've documented, filled with directed light. This is the Inland Conservatory of Performing Arts. Minions, demons, 1554788, crossing path again with the same dumpster truck. All right, stalking in a dumpster truck. That's how pathetic those demons are. License plate. They were doing the same thing this morning under the fake sun as it remained over the Ontario Village Shopping Center. That's the City of Ontario. It is currently 12:23 p.m. Let me get this demon's license plate. License. Monitoring with the little kid. 5PBZ812 with a communication device. That's a fat white male with facial hair. He's got a mustache. Looks like to be like salt and pepper. He's got a little boy in the passenger seat. He's in operation as a communication device. He is stalking with the City of Ontario. He was using the dumpster truck as light activity and audible activity, and the fake sun is right here to my side. I am at C Street in front of the Inland Conservatory of Performing Arts, okay? This is P.O.C. It's 12:23 p.m. 84581X2 7NVT 527. All right, stalking with light in concert with the state that is keeping a fake sun over my head that is nowhere near being over the Ovid Family Community Library, the 280 North Women Apartments area, and also after remaining for an excess of 3 hours over the Ontario Village Shopping Plaza. This is acting in concert with City of Ontario. This is license plate 1602441, Ontario Municipalities. Alrighty, and I'm showing you images of that. That's called Stalking with Light. The City of Ontario is in the opposite side, on the alley, on my opposite side, and I took video of that. That's the flashing light. Those are demons that stalk with that method of light. It's achieving the criminal purpose of monitoring with communication devices while the state is concentrating its plane activity right over me. Yeah, that's UPS. And that's what I took a picture of so you can see it. That's the state hovering with another UPS plane, concentrated on where I'm at. And how do you know that? Because where the demons are concentrating their light activity, where the demons have placed their fake sun right over me in this alley, and where the state is amplifying that audible activity of a plane, doing so. And that's what I took a picture of. All right. That is how you are understanding what is the targeting conduct of demons, psychopaths. All right. And sex offenders, 7BBZ 531. And these are the license plates that are in the shade, and I showed you in the video the fake sun that's to my right, and in the shade are these vehicles which have directed light, which my shadow is appearing inside of. 8LXS950, and this is the third-party facilitating venue, the Inland Conservatory for the Performing Arts. Demons, 7CLP165, 7XOH722. License plate. This is paper. Let me get this one. U38S69, and the Inland Conservatory for Performing Arts. This fat black female opens and closes the door, and just like you saw this morning at Miss Donuts, that she's doing that intentionally, knowing the fake sun is over my head, creating directed light on the sidewalk while I read that license plate. Okay, she's a stalker, and she's monitoring, and she knows exactly who I am and where I am at. All right, license 7L95785. And I took a picture of her. She's wearing dark blue jeans and a black and white hoodie, long jacket. She is stalking in the path inside of 104 C Street, the West C Street in Ontario. That's the venue of Inland Conservatory for the Performing Arts. The fake sun is over my head, directed light is in the shade, and directed light while that demon who is stalking me in the path knows exactly where I'm at and is monitoring with the ongoing environment that's surrounding me. Okay, that's the ongoing action, understand, of stalking with light. In the same way that the City of Ontario is stalking in the path with a truck, using its light. You are stalking with light while the state places the fake sun over me, and you open and close your door to create engineered movement of light. That's how demons stalk with light. That's what she's doing. Okay, 4YKK348. PBT72. Can't see the last characters. They're covering it up with a bow. License 56269V1. Alrighty, this is a demon driving a school bus. License plate 1302411, and that is the Chaffee Joint Union High School, which I also showed you at nightfall, stalking in the same engineered light, where you have what is my triple shadows in front of me, and when they are driving in directed light, and doing so with children on the bus, and doing so in a school bus. It doesn't matter what the demon is driving. It matters for purposes of all the ways in which you're prosecuting, all right? But they're doing it in the same environment. It's a systematic means of stalking. 7PGU655, 7DZJ219, and what else are you going to pay attention to? 5RRS258. The state is now hovering over where I'm located here, all right, as I am walking east, okay? And this is what the entity is doing. It was hovering all the way over to the Ontario Village and then rising in elevation, all right? The state is also doing this where I am on the opposite side of the street on Hope Boulevard. That's where the state is doing that at the B&G Plaza. Where I'm at 630 North Fern, the state is hovering until it gets to that street, all right, and playing a tape of the sound of audible activity of a plane. Because the state creates the same exact noise level and noise in the same environment, regardless of high or how high or low, 7JXR318, the actual plane is flying. All right, the same thing with helicopter. All right, it is currently 12:30 p.m. Wells Fargo is a facilitating venue. 8RCOB399. 8ROB399. 8BVK603. All right, showing you what is stalking under the fake sun. Going to an ATM is no forum. This is intentional presence by demons who are engaging in stalking with the state. And that's what I showed you a picture of while they're stalking, sitting in their vehicles, crossing path as I'm walking down the street. And the fake sun is right over me. 4P96048. And that is a picture of 8BVK603. All right, license 5J91253. License 4P96048. License 8LQT584. License 8LJB254. License 8YJZ716. 6GHN834. U379FO. 8DCK822. 6LGY440. And this demon with 8LQT584 is just loitering in the drive-thru right here next to me, stalking as I'm walking past the drive-thru, and also maintaining presence in the path while I read license plates. They're a stalker. 8UTZ946. You already know this by the fake sun and directed light. I'm pointing out what is the blatant stalking activity that they engage in. Okay? They are acting as though you're going somewhere, getting in the drive-thru, and you're not. You're just sitting there. You're stalking me and remaining there while I'm reading license plates, standing on the sidewalk. 7YUR229. Alrighty? And you are stalking with the state that is maintaining commercial airline planes over my head in a fake sun and directed light. 13497G3. This one parks right here while I stand here. 8LBG758. BT11S42. USPS, you already know about those demons. License 6421633. That's not the license, that's the vehicle number. 83403L1. Let me show you this demon that parks at Ontario Town Square as I stand here while they're stalking, maintaining presence, engaging in surveillance. No, not a nice picture. Satan's hideous. License plate 8LBG758. And that's the man that parks right here as I stand here on the sidewalk, and the fake sun is right over me. As he opens and closes his door, directed light moves all around the asphalt, okay? That he is also on the surveillance cameras, as I am of the Ontario Town Square, where the state's fake sun is as well, okay? It is, again, 12:33 p.m. Alrighty. An at-length video just showing you what is stalking with light, the absence of any sun over the Ovid Family Community Library area and the direction, and also showing you what is stalking with the fake sun on the very street where I am. In other words, the fake sun doesn't remain on Hope Boulevard while I'm on, like it is while I'm on Hope Boulevard. It deviates to be over me. That is deviating to move north to be over my head as I walk on Vesta, as I walk on C Street. I read that license 5NKT321 7ROR769 8GQX121. And I'm showing you also what is common sense while I'm at the Fontana Police Department in the city of Fontana, which is the city that is east of the city of Ontario. All right. So you're talking about what is the state's fake sun that is central over my head in the city of Fontana, and central over my head in the city of Ontario, and central over my head in the city of Upland. That's just some comparisons and documentation that I've already published. Stalking with light. All right, speaking to what is the targeting of a government in concert with the people who are heavy-duty stalkers, who are sex offenders chasing into the bathroom, all right, with knowledge of what you're documenting. All right, that's all the ways in which you're going to pinpoint that prosecution. All right, that is terrorism by the government and by a people who are demented in every regard, demented in that obsessive, hovering, stalking activity. And why? Because they're inferior demons. This is their condition. This is what I'm revealing about government agencies. This is what I'm revealing about any ordinary person that you assume is ordinary. Where this system is in operation, you're not dealing with normal people. You're dealing with malicious actors, and they are of demon possession, out of whose mouth you will never get the truth. You will prosecute them based on the artificially engineered. It is an ongoing maintenance of an unnatural environment conducive to monitoring with communication devices, while that which are the criminal elements of monitoring is demonic system is demonic activity while it's practiced by a government. All right, and practiced by people. And that's how you're going to prosecute him. All right, because Satan is a liar. Satan's minions, therefore, are liars, and you're going to prosecute them with all of the audible activity that comes out of their mouth. All right. And you're talking about stripping them of positions that they have no business in based on that threat that they are posing, demonstrated by their engagement in the state system, and also demonstrated by what is the very fact that you're dealing with a psychopath that is closeted. And it's not closeted when you're documenting federal group stalking and monitoring. It is the revealing of that. And California is not the only state engaging in P.O.C. All right. It is currently 12:38 p.m. Alrighty, giving video to show you what is the state's fake sun over the 280 North Limit Apartments at my arrival. All right, in conflict with being present at the Ontario Village Shopping Center. That's what I'm showing you. In conflict with that documentation where I'm showing you where I'm literally at the venue of the library and I go to the parking lot, I go to the back part facing the College of Law, I walk all around and the state's fake sun is moving, and this is early in the morning, and then today I'm showing you what is the fake sun that is directly over the Ontario Village Shopping Center and remaining for a series of hours. All right, I've already prosecuted this entity. I've already prosecuted this venue. All right, you're talking about what is speaking to all the ways in which you're going to prosecute for the multitudinous violations that they engage in while they're stalking as a government, as an entity. All right, and showing what is the threat that's posed by such an entity, the sex offender and the psychopath. All right, it's 12:40 p.m., which gives context to everything that I've already documented. It gives context to everything that I've already revealed. All right, it is 12:40 where the state keeps its fake sun now. As I showed you, as I walked here, this is where the environment remains. P.O.C. It is 6:31 p.m. This is just to document the sex offender. That is the entity that is stalking in the private space. And I'm at state facilitating venue, the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library. And this is P.O.C. At 6:32, you have what is engagement in the elements. And you're just following that P.O.C., which the state is literally following me and this entity that is demon-possessed. This is terrorism and sexual violence while they're stalking in a private space. 6:32 p.m. P.O.C. All right, 6:34, while the entity is stalking in the bathroom by maintaining presence in the stall, as I want to document what is engagement in the elements affirmatively, again, while I am waiting for what is a stalker that is in the bathroom, literally crouching in a bathroom stall, stalking an American citizen. On behalf of the government, understand the government is equally pathetic and despicable, and you're going to prosecute profusely for that. This is the government hiding in a bathroom stall in conflict with people. I want to be clear, as I lift up my leg, which is a new movement, because I'm looking at myself in the mirror while the stalker is stalking me in a bathroom, you have what is amplification of audible activity, which is not centered in the bathroom, where the state is usually amplifying and creating impact. All right, it's right here centered where I'm standing with simultaneity to my lifting up my leg while I'm looking in the mirror while this demon is stalking in the bathroom stall. All right, it is P.O.C. 6:35 p.m. All right, I did capture images both of what is the group stalkers that are loitering in relevant position in directed light. You can see the young boy. He's standing. He's got double shadows, and they're enlarged in size. This is directed light that's all around the bathroom while the state is amplifying audible activity, and while this white female who's wearing the beanie, she runs out of the entrance. She walks around the side of the Ovid. She knows that I'm taking pictures, and this third party enters. She leaves her male son, who was monitoring with a communication device, outside, and they're standing in directed light. That is the entity patrolling around and outside of the bathroom while the state is amplifying audible activity, and the entity is literally stalking in a bathroom. All right, it is currently 6:41 p.m. That is a documentation of what is federal stalking by entity in the bathroom. All right, this is my documentation of it, and I took images. I'll be publishing those. This is directed light, which serves no other purpose other than what is federal stalking. This is demonic activity practiced by government in concert with the people, and you have that environment maintained in a bathroom. That is the conduct of a sex offender, okay? And then you have what is the pathetic conduct which you're going to prosecute for, which is that sex offending terrorist that stalks in the bathroom stall, okay? Crouching in the bathroom stall. It is currently 6:41 p.m. P.O.C. 47657 M2. Again, that's 47657 M2 at 6:57 p.m. Touching with what is directed light at Woodside Senior Apartments. All right. It is again 6:57 p.m.
Buy you some soup if you want it.
I know some of you are gonna say money is not important, it's not an issue.
You want it?
License 8TPH 111, I believe. Can't really see it. They're stalking in relevant position at Wells Fargo. It's 6:42 p.m.